Electrical plans are used by electricians when they do the wiring in a house, and they look different from other kinds of plans. If you have a small project, and by small project we probably mean a normal house, you don't need a separate electrical plan drawing. You can put the wiring stuff right on your floor plan, and so your sheet number would be A1 or A101. If you have a bigger project, like a big house, if you have a big house with lots of stuff going on, you probably need a separate electrical plan. And if you do, then the sheet starts with E for electrical. So your sheet might be E1 or E101. Here's an example. This one is clearly a bigger house, so it's got its own electrical plan. These electrical plans are about relationships. They show the electrician what switch is supposed to connect to what light, what thing connects to an outlet if it does, what connects to what, and what kinds of outlets, what kinds of switches do you have. They do not tell the electrician where to put the wire. That is not our job. That's the electrician's area of expertise. So we don't tell them that. All we tell them is what connects to what. There's a switch here, it connects to this stuff. There's a switch here, and it needs to be a three-way. That's all. Then it's their job to figure out where to run the wire. Notice there are no dimensions for anything. And also notice that these are not scale drawings of fixtures or outlets. These are pure symbols. They don't look anything like the actual electrical stuff that the electrician will be connecting. So this is just to show connections and relationships using symbols. Here's an example out of our book. There are standard symbols that everybody uses and everybody knows how to read that we use on these electrical plans. Here's a big old table, but let us zoom in on individual parts one at a time. For switches, you make a letter S. It's perpendicular to the wall. And if it's a regular switch, a plain two-way switch on and off, you just make a letter S. If it's a three-way switch, you put a 3 next to it. If it's a four-way switch, you put a 4 next to it, and so forth. Outlets, which have receptacles on them, outlets have two parallel lines, as you can see, and then a circle centered over those parallel lines, and just a plain outlet, a plain receptacle, is two parallel lines with a circle. That's all. There are some other fancy things here, like here's a GFCI symbol. For lighting, a plain old light fixture in the ceiling is an 1/8 inch circle. A plain old light fixture on the wall is an 1/8 inch circle with these legs sticking out. Ceiling mounted fixtures are rectangles, and here's a fluorescent light fixture. So you can see they're fairly simple shapes. This 1/8 inch size keeps showing up all over the place when we do drawings. So here it is again. These circles that represent fixtures are supposed to be 1/8 of an inch in diameter when printed. And the text, like the letter S for switch, is supposed to be 1/8 of an inch high when printed. And you draw these symbols perpendicular to the wall. So here, in this picture at the top, here is a symbol for a switch where the letter S and the line through it is at right angles to the wall. Here on the far left is a wall going up and down, so that letter S has been rotated 90 degrees, so that the line going through it and the letter itself can be perpendicular to the wall. Same thing with the outlets. Here is an outlet that's perpendicular to this wall. And then you add notes where you need to, good old 1/8" high text when printed. And what you say in the note depends on what you're talking about. So for instance, here's a fluorescent ceiling mounted light fixture, 24 by 48. Well, obviously that's the size of the fixture. Here's a receptacle that says 48. In this case, that means it's 48 inches above the floor. And then you might have some other notes depending. You might give the rating next to the equipment, or you might have a separate schedule for electrical stuff, and then you put the ratings in the schedule. Now, the lines that connect switches and fixtures and outlets are, first of all, they're curved. They're not straight lines. We need to make them stand out so everybody can see right away this is not a piece of the wall. This is something else. This is an electric wire. So we make them curved, and we make them a dashed line type. So curved and dashed, they stand out right away as wire. And we use those curvy lines to connect things. And that's all we're telling the electrician. Here's the connection. Here's our book showing us what not to do and what to do. Yay, these are good. For this assignment, assignment 16, I have given you 2 floor plans or 2 partial floor plans. I drew them already, so we've got them. You don't have to draw all these walls and doors and things. All you have to do is just add the circles for the fixture and the receptacle, and the dashed curvy lines for the wires, and any notes that need to be added. And I would like to point out that this is the very last drawing you will do in this class ever. So yay. So we have 2 of them. Here's one, and here's the second one. The second one is apparently a kitchen. And that's it. In another video, in fact 2 videos, I'm going to go over to AutoCAD and talk through with you how to draw some of these shapes and lines.